Hello, welcome to Nina's Knots Crochet. I'm Lynanne. If you're new here, hey, thanks for stopping by, checking out my channel. My channel, well, it's all about crochet. Well, sometimes we talk about yarn or some fun thing happening in the yarning community, or we just hang out and chat. Returning subscribers, thanks so much for coming back, spending a little bit of your Monday with me. Everybody have a good weekend. Boy, did I have a good weekend. Started out Friday, really great Friday, and right on through to Sunday. But I got very little crochet done. I gotta be real honest with you. Tomorrow I'll show you how far I've gotten on my Silver Lake shirt, which I'm pretty pleased with. But other than that, I have done nothing. Friday, which would have been September 19th, Marie Force came out with a book 28 in her Gansett Island series, and I spent all day Friday reading it. I literally, between taking care of Tom and doing laundry and taking care of the cats and doing all the things that you do, I parked myself on the couch and I read that book cover to cover. I was up pretty late doing it, but I did it. She's my favorite author, and I look forward to her books. They just suck you in, and it was one of those that I got sucked in, and I read the whole thing cover to cover in one day. I've been known to do that. I also like to tend to space them out. I'm going to give myself a few weeks, maybe a month, but I'm going to reread the whole series from book 1 to book 28 again here. You know what? That'd probably be the book series that I read while I'm on vacation. I am outside. Do you hear the pterodactyls? Living in Central Florida, we have pterodactyls. Actually, those are the sandhill cranes. We have a mated pair in our neighborhood who come around. This is the first time I've heard them in a week or so. They're so loud. Anyway, I don't know how long. So the cranes have settled down, and now my camera's off because I have to. There's a beam of light coming through, so I got to switch so the sun's not on my face. Oh no, I screwed this all up. Anyway, what was I saying? So, I read the Marie Force book from cover to cover, and I just love that book, and I love the series, and I love her writing, and now we get to wait for the next installment of her Fatal series to come out. So needless to say, a lot of crochet did not get done. We had college football all day Saturday. IU won, Tennessee won, Notre Dame won, and then we had pro football all day on Sunday, and the Bears kicked the poop out of the Cowboys, woohoo. So yeah, it was a lot of football around here for us yesterday. I did work on my Silver Lake shirt. I'm not saying I didn't do any, but I really wanted to get on to the Judy's Creations and Crochet, the cowl that I want to make. I was really struggling with it. I started the alpine stitch. It was getting lost in the dark yarn. It just wasn't what I wanted. It was giving me a beautiful texture, but you couldn't see it. And with only using one color, I was struggling. Well, Judy had left me a note in my comment saying, go ahead and add the pink. So I am going to use the pink. Well, it's more of a magenta than it is a pink with the inky blue. I mean, I love these colors so much together. And while I was scrolling around, oh, there's the sun right in my face. Sorry about that. While I was scrolling around on Instagram, I saw one of these little short videos on a stitch that I know, and it didn't dawn on me that this would be a really cool cowl. I want something solid, so I'm starting over, and I'm gonna use the Tunisian twisted knit stitch, and I'm gonna throw in a row or two here or there of the pink. I'm not gonna do color blocks. I'm gonna do section of blue and then 2 rows of the pink, section of blue, and then 2 rows of the pink. So it's more of a subtle stripe than in your face striped cowl. I'm going to do like a ribbing at the bottom so that the bottom here is ribbed, and then I'm going to I haven't decided if I'm going to make it bigger. I think I'm going to make it bigger here and then do a few decreases so it's a little tighter up here. So if it's more of a dicky, no, I'm going to make it all one, just make it a little loose cowl. I've seen patterns where they do that, where they're bigger at the bottom and they kind of like funnel up so it's tighter around your neck. But I think this yarn, which is an acrylic wool blend, it's Barocco Vintage Chunky, it's going to be warm enough without having to be tight around the neck. So yeah, and again, I don't have to count stitches because there's no stitch count with this kind of stitch. So I'm just gonna go and make it as big as I think it'll be nice around. I mean, the girls who are getting it are a lot smaller than me, so for me it'll probably be a little bit tight, but for them it'll be loose and chunky, and that's kind of what I was looking for, a loose, chunky, textured cowl. And I think with the twisted knit stitch, that's the look that I'm going to get. We'll try it. Listen, I'm okay with frogging it. If it doesn't work, I'll frog it back and I'll try something else. I originally thought I was going to do something cabled, but I don't have time. I got to get this done and to Judy by the end of the week. So I've also reminded myself, given myself that little bit of grace, I am not going to get the Silver Lake shirt done by the end of September. I lost a whole week of crochet on it when Tom was in the hospital. So that's all right. I'm giving myself that minute to breathe. I'm giving myself that little bit of grace. I'll get it done soon. I'm halfway through the second front panel, almost ready to start the decrease for the V-neck, and then it's just 2 sleeves. I really was afraid that I wasn't going to have enough yarn to do the sleeves, but there was a ball of yarn hiding underneath. I have plenty of the billow of the white, the creamy color. I didn't know if I had enough of the cotton number 5. Well, I found an extra ball. It had gotten underneath all of the billow, so I have one more ball left of the yarn, the stripy colored yarn, the cotton number 5. So I'm going to be able to stripe the sleeves. I'm going to be able to make the whole thing. It's just turning out so great. I'm really excited about it. But, you know, things happen, and I had to be okay with the fact that it's not going to get done in the month of September. And that's okay. Really it is. So, what else is going on? All right, this week. What are the plans for this week? Well, today I'm going to work on this. Tuesday is Tunisian Tuesday. We'll talk about how far I've gotten and how things are going with the Silver Lake shirt. We're going to Wednesday have a BOGGY unboxing over at Jaxie's house. If you don't know, Jaxie Creations by Jax. Thursday will be Luck of the Draw. And I'll show you that on Wednesday, my progress on my Luck of the Draw blanket. It's really turning out really cute. And then Friday, who knows? It'll all just depend on what goes on around here. I do have a yarn order coming in. It just so happened, Kevin and Ray from Needles at the Ready, they did a trunk show, not this last weekend, but the weekend before, at Skeen Yarn Shop in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. I used to live in Warwick for like 4 years. We lived in Warwick. It's a beautiful part of the world. Anyway, they did a trunk show, and they did a color exclusive to the trunk show that just happened to be called Gansett Glow. Now, I could not buy that yarn, right? Gansett Glow, I had to have it. They did it based on a picture of a lighthouse in Narragansett Bay, which is a beautiful place. If you've never been to Rhode Island or the East Coast, Narragansett Bay, Andrew, our son, had a friend who lived right on the bay in a neighborhood called Buttonwoods. It was so gorgeous. Oh my God, it was in a beautiful place. We lived literally blocks from TF Green Airport. This was before 9/11 and before, you know, all the heightened security. We literally lived the runway. There was a road of like access road. Then there was a field. Then there was the road that went into our neighborhood, and we lived like 3 blocks into the neighborhood. We would get woke up every Sunday morning at 6:30 without fail, listening to a FedEx plane taking off over our house, and you could just hear it struggling. It was so full of packages trying to get up and over the house. Lots of times our house got shaken. I stopped putting things on the wall because things would get knocked down. It was interesting living that close to an airport. Never done that before. As a matter of fact, one of the senators or congressmen or governor, somebody had passed away who was in government, had been in government for a very long time. And the president came to the funeral, and Air Force One flew right over my house. Like I stood in my backyard and watched land. If I was one of those people, I could have thrown a softball and hit it, the airplane, because it was that close to our house. We watched for days as they brought in like the security vehicles and unloading big planes full of supplies, and Secret Service was everywhere. It was a really interesting experience. Lincoln somebody. Why can't I remember the dude's name? Anyway, it was so long ago, but it was an interesting experience living that close to the airport. But now fast forward, that whole neighborhood is demolished. It's gone. The airport bought it, and the neighborhood no longer exists. But anyway, the colorway that Kevin and Ray developed is called Gansett Glow, and I'm really mad at myself. I ordered, they did pre-orders for the trunk show, and I pre-ordered it, and then I didn't get on Instagram for a while, and then all of a sudden I noticed that he put out a mini set to go with it, and it sold out, and I didn't get the mini set. And it would have made a really pretty shawl to have the variegated with the minis. It would have been so beautiful. But I'll find something beautiful to make with the variegated, the Gansett Glow. I might even have some minis that can go with it to make something really amazing. So anyway, though, that's coming in. I know I got the shipping notice of that. I think that's supposed to be here by Thursday. So I'll have that on Friday to show you. I love Kevin and Ray's yarn. The Needles at the Ready yarn is so beautiful. It's worth it. So, and then whatever else pops up, you just never know. Things pop here and there. I got some things I want to tell you. I'll tell you all on Friday. There's a bunch of things happening in October, and I think January. New things popping up that are crochet related at a local library, and there's a mini fiber fest. So there's a lot of things happening that I'm going to tell you about if you're local, if you're Central Florida. So anyway, with that, I'm going to let you get back to your day. Thanks for hanging out with me outside on my porch. Sorry that the pterodactyls were so loud. But you know what? When you live in the forest, you live with the animals, and you just kind of put up with it. Hope you guys have a great week. It's okay to give yourself a little bit of grace. Take a step back, unplug for a little bit, just decompress, reset. It's all right. It'll be okay. be kind to yourself, but above all, be kind to everyone out there, and I will talk to you tomorrow for Tunisian Tuesday. Have a great Monday.